Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
I've fallen asleep during the fourth inning of the Phillies game the last 2 nights, but tonight, because we're doing the pod and I'll be up already, the biggest war for me staying up for a West Coast game is 8:30 till 10. You know, with like filling that time when I know I could be going to sleep, that's when I get tired. So this will fill that time. And of course they'll lose because I'll stay up.
They're due for a loss here, though.
For sure.
Two pretty magical wins.
Yeah.
I tried to go last night, but couldn't end up getting there, which is a bummer. But and if I'd finished work earlier, I was going to try to leave right after the pod from here, but not going to happen.
Yeah.
How long, without completely doxing yourself, how long does it take for you to get?
I'd love to see them try to figure it out based on LA traffic.
Yeah. Yes.
It would be an hour. It'd be an hour. Yeah.
Mike, you will appreciate I am playing fantasy baseball for the first time in 35 years since I was a mid-teenager in a station league. And after a slow first month, I'm now in the second round of the playoffs against Jack, who truly prides himself on being good at fantasy baseball.
That sounds like him.
And if I could win this playoff round, I would like to win the league, but if I could win this round and beat Jack, it would be enormous for me.
You got any Phils on the team?
I've Duran, but I had him as a twin. And I believe I had Strom at one point, but Duran's the only Phil I have. Oh, I have Luzardo. That's as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
I tend to not draft Philadelphia players.
Yeah, I guess I didn't draft one Philadelphia player. I got Lazaro off of waivers when he was bouncing around, 6 starts ago or whatever. Somebody dropped him, so I picked him up, but that was it.
Yeah. I just have enough riding on them.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I don't need to.
You don't need to be pissed off at them for something else.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm curious what fantasy sports was like 35 years ago.
It was different, man. First of all, I think everybody having the same information to draft right now makes it a little worse because everybody's sort of looking at the same rankings, makes it maybe a little less creative. But the manager in the league, the commissioner in the league, went to the box scores the next day and added fucking everything up. It was called rotisserie baseball at that point, not fantasy.
I remember it.
Yeah.
I remember middle school me playing fantasy football, and it was online, but it was before it was like updated like as it's happening score-wise.
Right. So you just got it at the end.
Unless you like paid extra for like game tracker or something, it was like an extra fee. And so I remember just being like, okay, Rod Smith had 7 receptions for 71 yards and a touchdown. Okay, so that's 20.1 points. Like I can do that math very quickly because I did it all the time when I was
funny.
Growing up. And I had like a little note card of like what the score is. Okay, Sunday Night Football, so I'm gonna need, Brent Selleck to get 6 points and I win. Whatever.
The good old days.
A special time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to do something to yourself.
Yes.
Do a little math. Do a little writing.
Yeah. Something taking a little more work. There's nothing wrong with that.
A little bit. Work with your hands. Work with your hands to tabulate your fantasy football score.
Yes, of course.
That's all we're saying.
On the show today, some pictures of Joel Embiid looking skinny. Are we back in? Might be a little in. There's going to be an Allen Iverson documentary. Fly the Process is coming. And maybe we'll take the Sixers survey. He's on vacation, but he posted this survey. I think it's kind of interesting. It's for his readers, but we might take it. The rights to Ricky Sanchez, Kings Sportsbook. Sign up for Draftkings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS. And brought to you by BodyBio. Get 20% off any BodyBio product with promo code AUGUST at bodybio.com. Anthony Degli Obizzi, the official financial planner of the Ricky. Text Ricky to 484-471-4873 to set up a consultation. And Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, the official canned cocktail of the Ricky. 2 things, charity events that you should be interested in. First of all, Serving Up Empowerment, the ping pong event with Daryl, Shane Battier, and others. There were 3 players there last year, but I don't know who's going to be. I think Nick Nurse is going to be there. I'm not sure.
I said Oubre is going to be there.
Oh, Oubre is going to be there? Oh.
I think I saw it in the tweet, but in the picture it was Drummond.
Yes, Drummond was there last year. Anyway, it benefits the Battier Foundation, the Battier Take Charge Foundation, which helps young people in different cities get opportunities like learning opportunities, business opportunities they wouldn't normally get. They are helping a school in Camden as well, kids in Camden as well. The event is Saturday from 2 to 5 at Spin in Philly, which looks pretty cool. I will be there 2 to 5. Harmless. What the hell else are you doing like mid-afternoon on Saturday? We'll put the link to buy tickets in the show notes. Hope to see you there. And Bark in the Park is October 11th. Thank you to our sponsors, Mortgage CS, LL Pavorsky Jewelers, Scheib Vintage Sports, Surfside, and Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds. We're up to $5,500 raised. A Ricky listener named Josh is matching up to $6,500. If you sign up for the team, raise at least $50, you're going to get our team shirt designed by Olivia Smith. The number 1 fundraiser will get a Barker dog bed. It's very cool as well. Number 1 fundraiser for our team. And of course, you're going to help save animals, Providence Animal Center. It is great. The link is in the show notes. If you don't want to participate by being on the team, that's fine. I think a little bit less of you, not much less of you. But if you donate, we're good. You can do that there. Surfside, iced tea, and vodka. I saw Clem and Matt from Surfside earlier today at WIP. We were talking about Stateside Live. I was like, what the fuck, guys? I remember when you signed on 5 years ago. We were your only advertising, and now you have 15 years of naming rights to Stateside Live. Pretty wild. And with Phil's playoffs coming up, how many Surfsides do you think they're going to sell at Citizens Bank Park? 1 billion? Billion's not enough. 2 grams of sugar, only 100 calories, tastes way better than anything in its class. Frankly, nothing's in its class. Whatever variety you like. Strawberry lemonade and vodka, iced tea, green tea and vodka, whatever it is. As I said, 2 grams of sugar, 100 calories, no bubbles because iced tea should not be carbonated. However, you do have to be 21 and you should enjoy it responsibly. Without any further ado, Amos and the chef.
We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
Welcome to the Rights Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Eskin, along with a guy who likes doing it by hand, Mike Levin.
That's it. Here we are.
We
got some Phil's playoff picture coalescing. We got the WNBA playoffs happening right now. The Sixers are starting to emerge out of 2nd August. The Eagles are 2-0 and everybody's thrilled.
No.
Not quite. The tush push is in conversation.
Yeah.
Just going around the sports world right now.
Yep. I like we have Jordan Mailata on the show on Tuesdays, and I like how amped up he's getting about the negative tush push people. He was all mad about the Adam Schefter thing. He's like, these guys can shut the fuck up, basically. It's very funny. I like that they're getting an attitude about it now. I love the tush push. Yeah,
they tried to ban it because the Eagles are too good at it. It is not something that only the Eagles can do.
Anyone can do.
But the Eagles are too good at it that they tried to ban it and are now complaining about it all the time.
Yes, it's so good.
Pretty wild.
It's so they should be proud. If I was Nick, I thought it was funny during the offseason when Sirianni and Howie Roseman and Jeff Lurie were fighting so hard for it. But then I realized you should fight hard for it. You invented a play that is unstoppable. you should fucking fight for it. Screw them. Screw the NFL. You know?
Jalen was also in on that first tush push when they challenged it. Like that ball crossed the goal line very clearly, and they were like, we couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we're looking at it. we see it right there. Pretty bizarre.
Well, I'll take the can't tell if they can't tell that we're false starting every time.
That's also so fair.
It is. Right.
Super fair. I think football is just kind of thing where it's like there are 1 million rules and like 100,000 of them are being broken on every play.
Yep.
And you're just like, it's just sort of up to everybody's discretion whether they're going to call some of them.
Yes.
And usually they don't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's, you watch a replay every time you're like, there's a hold. There's a hold. Of course there's a hold. How else could you stop a guy? You have to hold him. Yeah. So, in the last pod, we were talking about the 6-second Joel Embiid video and how, you've been more optimistic than I have this offseason, but this one started to pull me back in. And I watched the 6-second video a lot, made me feel good. I started asking myself, what if he plays 52 games? What if he plays 45 games? What if he averages 30 points? Jason Tatum's hurt, Tyrese Halliburton's hurt. Then I saw this picture they posted, Mike. They posted 2 pictures. Look how fucking thin he is.
Thin, svelte.
Dude, some people were saying, when I posted it, people were saying, oh, he was that thin last year or the year before or something. I don't think he's ever looked like this.
Hard to tell from one picture. But what about that second picture?
Show the second one. Show the second one, CJ. Show it, you fucker. Show the second picture. Oh, with Edgecombe. He's playing basketball.
He's sweaty. That's good.
Yes.
It's nice, man.
We might be back, Mike.
I've arguably never left. But I should have many times.
I don't know. I didn't expect him to be playing basketball so soon, honestly.
I'm the guy at the bar that's constantly like in a drunken stupor, like threatening to leave. And the owners are like, you should go. And I'm like, I'm just still going to stay here and complain.
Yeah.
I mean,
look at it, man.
It's very exciting that he's healthy or healthy looking.
He's playing basketball, so he's more healthy than he was at this point last year. Yeah. I think that's fair to say.
He's around. He's talking to Edgecombe. That's cool. Yeah. Edgecombe is looking at him with a level of respect and admiration. That's also cool.
Or confusion. Sort of, I guess it depends.
Imagine a Joel post up, help comes, Joel little like turn half hook lob to a Edgecombe cutting opposite baseline alley-oop dunk. Just think about that. Think about that for a second.
See, he's not going to play in the preseason games, which I guess I understand. I just would kind of like a little test of it. Honestly, the preseason games in Saudi Arabia, or what are they doing? It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. But
really,
I'm starting to get excited. I mean, when training camp starts, he's going to be practicing, I think. He's going to be practicing.
What would you say the difference is between practicing now in, I guess, whatever unofficial capacity it is versus practicing in training camp?
Well, practicing in training camp, he's getting ready.
What's he doing
play
now?
In the game. We're 2 months away now.
But what's he doing now?
Oh, he's practicing too. But the media can't watch him practicing.
Okay, so your distinction is that they're unable to watch.
People will see him practice. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
if someone who works
stuff
for the Sixers in some either like social media or like chef or trainer or equipment manager or obviously coaching staff or even Daryl, who has watched Joel play,
leak us the information.
Just a little leak.
Leak us the information.
At least tell us if we shouldn't be as optimistic as it feels like we are getting to be.
Here's the realistic.
Just a little heads up. Maybe just a little bit like he's mostly just like running around. The reason he's sweaty is because like we keep it pretty hot in the gym.
Yeah,
like
take it down a notch on the pod. You might want to. You want to.
You don't have to say.
We don't want people to be too excited.
You don't have to say like MVP. He's back. He's gonna win one. It's happening. Playing 82. You don't have to give me that, but just let me know if it's like, this is not real. Don't. The bummer would be if we build this up. Yeah. We get excited about it. Training camp comes and he's like, nah, Joel's not ready yet. He's not gonna play. opening night comes, Joel's not. If we still do that, like I just want to feel like health, wellness, on the right track. It's actually going to happen. So tell me if I should stop feeling that way.
Yeah, Mike. Here's the truth, and I'm saying this to the listener and the listeners that were asking to leak us things. I know several people within the organization, from sales to trainers to the fucking president of basketball operations, listens to the podcast. And when they don't, somebody reads through the transcription and tells them what we say on the podcast. I know this happens. I know. It definitely happens. So one of you fuckers who are listening to the podcast right now and know what he looks like in practice, how about this? We won't say anything. We won't say anything about what you said. We want to help guide people in an appropriate way. We don't want to get their hopes up too high. And if we're doing that right now, they're going to be mad at you. They're going to be mad at you, not us. Give us a little leak.
I'll say something, but not quoting them.
How would you have found out the information otherwise?
Well, we get information and we
sure.
run it through our own personal
filters,
mouth filters, and it turns out to be like speculation and what we're hearing and our best guesses and stuff.
Yeah.
But we don't turn around and say,
so-and-so told me.
I was going to say Brett Brown. Brett Brown's not telling me anything.
No, never leaked anything to us, actually.
But if we did, I wouldn't have said, Brett Brown says Tobias isn't getting any plays run for him today.
Yes.
Like,
please, just leak us a little bit of information.
A little leak.
You haven't leaked us any
leave
information.
The sync on. Leave the sync on for a little bit.
Yes.
Give it to us.
The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by Draftkings Sportsbook. NFL. Use Draftkings, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. Bet anytime touchdowns. Yeah, so there's this little note in the copy they sent us, and I have to adjust a little bit because the last time I did this, I may have given advice. It says, please do not provide betting advice on how the audience should wager. So we could go over the odds, and everyone knows when we do the UFC ones, Mike is kidding, but I'm not going to give you any advice at all because quite frankly, I don't know what I'm talking about. But bet anytime touchdowns. You can bet first touchdown. You can do same game parlay. You can do how many yards is Jalen going to throw for. Hopefully, if it's over 100. I don't know what the over-under is for this weekend. Hopefully it is. World Series odds right now, Mike. The Phils are the favorite to win the World Series at plus 425. The favorite. Dodgers are second at plus 550. Then the Blue Jays are plus 800.
It does feel like everything is clicking right now on such a ridiculous level, and you're just like, God, I wish the NLDS was today.
Right now, yeah. Which is kind of why I want them to go for the 1 seed, because then they'll have to keep trying through the year instead of just, flipping the switch off when they end up guaranteeing themselves a bye.
It would just also be nice, this is whatever, but if they're the 1 seed, then they don't have to fly back and forth to LA.
Yes.
Until theoretically the NLCS. Now, obviously,
and in the second round, they'll get the winner of the Padres or in Cubs or what are they going to get? They'll get.
Well, a lot depends on.
Who
makes it, but
I would like to
not have to basically be banked into flying to LA. To and from LA like 3 times over a week or whatever.
By the way, the over-under on passing yards for Jalen on Sunday against the Rams is 190. I would take the under. I'm not giving you advice, me personally. That's what I would do. New customers, use code RTRS when you sign up. You bet $5, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code RTRS. That's code RTRS to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Got to be 21. See show notes for details.
Yes.
This trailer dropped yesterday. the Iverson trailer. So there's going to be a 3-part docuseries on Prime Video. Comes out October 23rd, called Iverson, with the E as the number 3. And this is the Iverson. Yeah, that's how you say it. That's actually how they're going to say it through the entire thing. That's how they want everyone to say it. Here is the trailer for Iverson.
My mom told me that I could be anything I wanted to be. And I actually believed her.
He represents everything we're about.
Respect.
Convicted felon.
Disbelief.
Troubling role model.
Misunderstood.
Thug light.
Loyalty.
Anti-hero.
Dominant.
Icon.
Grateful.
He's been to hell and back, and he's still standing.
The truth makes the story that much better at the end.
There we go. I think the one thing, the reason I don't watch a lot of sports doc stuff on TV. I guess for some reason I don't enjoy it that much. I think the reason I'm looking forward to this is, as admittedly not the biggest Iverson guy in the world, I like listening to Iverson talk. I think Allen Iverson at this age, when he talks about current players, when he talks about when he plays, seems to have a very emotionally connected view of his career and current players. I like when he talks about it. He seems like it's almost like he's talking about his kid growing up or something. You know, he just seems he seems to remember it very fondly. And hearing him tell stories about that sort of stuff, I think is interesting. I'm sort of looking forward to this, and I don't like watching sports talks all that much.
Yeah, I mostly don't either. I am looking forward to this in the sense of it's a good excuse to watch a bunch of Iverson highlights.
Sure. Yep.
In like and maybe there's some new footage that they have from different angles or whatever.
Well, and it's so
I'm not expecting that much, because most of these like individual documentaries about one person, with I guess the exception of like Last Dance, is like they're all kind of, well, there's some good and some bad and complicated, and here's the highlights, and now we've reached the end of the career, and
it's just like a promo video for the guy.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. Anytime, if the player themselves are involved, you have to be a little bit skeptical. Generally, that'll be. But I think the other wild thing about Iverson is he is mostly just revered right now. I mean, people love Iverson. At the time, if I know a lot of people that are listening to this were not of age when it was happening, or living through it, but he was incredibly polarizing in town. He was very loved, at his height, but incredibly controversial in a way that doesn't even seem real based on how people think about him right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some of it was justified, some of it was unjustified. Some of it was,
well, a lot
racism.
of it was justified.
Yeah, but some of it was just like racism and like tropes and those kinds of things, especially like early on. And then some of it was like, man, he doesn't. Maybe you can't win with him as the like main guy, but they got to the finals with him and no one else. That is the worst finals team in NBA history.
I don't think it's worse than the LeBron team.
I think because
Even
Iverson
close,
is worse
actually.
than LeBron, it is.
Wait, have we talked about this before? I think we may have. The team, that first LeBron team that went to the finals.
I agree with you. I'm just saying Iverson is significantly worse than LeBron.
Okay,
so that
the team
is
overall
better.
was
But
worse.
I would be willing to entertain that the supporting casts are at least comparable or worth debating for sure.
Okay. I don't think the supporting casts are actually debatable. I mean, did LeBron have one player as good as Dikembe Mutombo on
But
that
it was
team?
like old Mutombo, though.
Aaron
If it was young
McKee.
Mutombo, that's a different situation.
Yeah. He was prime Mutombo.
No, he wasn't. Back then?
I think so. Yeah.
No. He was old, dude.
Okay.
He
All
was he was already 35.
I almost want to go through the rosters now, but we won't go through the rosters.
This is for August. We're just at the end of August. You want to go through rosters? We missed our chance. That's next August's problem.
Okay. All right. We are doing Fly the Process again this year. So we are going to New Orleans in February of 2026. Think about it. 2 weeks after the Eagles win the Super Bowl again. And you're thinking to yourself, what do I want to do? Go to New Orleans. We're going to New Orleans.
Where they won the Super Bowl last year.
Yes, where they won the Super Bowl last year. We will do a tour of where they won the Super Bowl. It is February 20th, which is a Friday. We go with Fans of Philly because Fans of Philly does it right. Anyone who's been on the trip knows it. Fly out February 20th, Friday, February 20th, and return on Monday, February 23rd. Going to stay at the Sheraton, New Orleans, which is right downtown, right near all the fucking lunacy of New Orleans. Have the pregame party on Saturday before the game. Food and drinks all included. Lower level tickets for the game. Apparently, the Pelicans have been very accommodating in getting us tickets. We'll do the court picture, all that sort of stuff. The thing that I think we need your help on is, so, you know, we always have like a theme, you know, what the name is. We were talking about it, and I think you came up with the big difficult or the big yes, right? That's what you said?
Because the big hard would
yes
give off a different implication.
Sounds like a boner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the big difficult, a play off the big easy, but I cannot escape Jason Lipshitz's idea, which is CJ's co-ed bachelor party.
That could maybe be like the colon, you know?
Yes.
Like
the big difficult colon CJ's co-ed bachelor party.
Yeah.
CJ's shaking his head. Why are you shaking your head?
You know, I love to make these things about me.
That sounds like you, yeah.
However, I hadn't thought about the colonization of this.
Yeah.
That is interesting, but I would defer to the big difficult or something similar in that nature.
Maybe just in a small font.
Yeah.
Small font, a little
little
lower
font.
in the lower
like,
there.
Like a ad disclaimer at the bottom.
Yeah, like a disclaimer, yeah.
Yeah.
By agreeing to this trip, you are on CJ's co-ed bachelor party.
Yes. and
Well,
you must give me
I
a
think
gift.
when I'm thinking about the art, when I go to Tanner and say we need a T-shirt, the big difficult, there's no art I can think of. But CJ's co-ed bachelor.
we can brainstorm.
Yeah, there's definitely
There's stuff to think of. We have
Oh
time.
man.
But if you do CJ's co-ed bachelor party and you do it like sort of like in that kind of bar bat mitzvah caricature picture of CJ, where it's like CJ playing a saxophone, you could do that.
Oh man.
We have a lot of options.
A lot of options.
Still time.
We do. Yeah, and co-ed bachelor party, of course.
I
Kelly.
partied my socks off at CJ's co-ed bachelor party. All the Jews in the audience are loving this.
All right. Wait a minute. Hold on. We got to get at the party. We got to get a caricature guy.
A caricature guy, yeah. CJ playing a saxophone with like a basketball in his other hand.
Yeah. So Will, if you have an opinion whether it should be the big difficult or CJ's co-ed bachelor party, let us know. You can put deposit down now. By the way, we will get on our website soon. We will put the link in the show notes. You see all the prices. You can stay by yourself in a room, stay with one other person, stay with three other people. It's always an awesome time, and you don't have to put all the money down at once. It's $150 as a deposit, and then you can pay it off as you go. But it'll be a good time, even if the Sixers suck. It's New Orleans. I am Amos is a big New Orleans person, and the New Orleans beyond Bourbon Street. Obviously, you have to do the Bourbon Street thing, but New Orleans is a very cool, spooky, weird city, and I had a real good time when I went there with Val a few years ago. So again, we'll put the link in the show notes. Name is coming soon. Fly the Process, New Orleans. We have to say welcome to a new person that is officially a part of the Sixers media conglomerate. Welcome, Tony Jones.
Tony Jones.
As the Sixers beat writer for The Athletic. This is per Tony on Twitter. Some personal news. I have moved to Philadelphia and will be covering the Sixers full-time for The Athletic. We got to get Tony on the pod. I'm excited to return to the East Coast and cover such a historic franchise. I will miss Utah greatly, as I have spent 17 years in Salt Lake. I will miss covering the Jazz, and I owe so much of my professional development to those I worked with and for at the Salt Lake Tribune. That being said, the business is ever changing, and when opportunity comes, you have to take advantage. So there you go, Tony Jones.
And he's He's from here.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is he?
Well, he said I get to return to a place I spent my childhood years.
Oh,
So at
yeah,
least
there it
partially
is.
from here, yeah.
Okay, so at least he lived here at some point.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, and, it's fair to mention Tony Jones has been, even before being named Athletic Sixers beat writer, over the summer, he has been, drips and drabs of Sixers information has come from Tony.
Yeah, there's been hints of this. I think he's a good writer. I think he's going to be good for the team, good for the fans. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to have him on the pod to talk about it and maybe see like what it's been like watching the Sixers from afar, and then what he will be jumping into at this,
It's such a weird time to
time.
become Sixers beat writer.
Yeah.
It's always a weird time, but it's an especially weird time now.
Yeah, it's a little bit like seeing a band when the lead singer has died.
Yes.
And they're still
Still
playing
touring.
and wearing the same stuff.
Yeah. Does he have to change his name to Sixers Tony?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast brought to you by BodyBio. We care about your health. The Ricky cares about your health. BodyBio cares about your health. BodyBio, supplement company here in Jersey, can help make you healthier. Now you have to live your life in a healthy way. Get enough sleep, stay hydrated, all that kind of shit. But BodyBio's products, which are top of the line as far as product, but as far as quality control, way top of the line. Those big, huge, enormous companies, bad quality control. That's why when you go into the drugstore, you see all the dust on the shelf of the supplements that are in there. That's not what you want. You want BodyBio. They test every batch. If it doesn't measure up to what they want, then doesn't go out to you. Maybe it's Elite. I mentioned being hydrated. It's not just about water. It's about electrolytes too. Mike, loving his sodium butyrate. How about remineralize? Mineral is super important to your body. Super important. Helps keep the bad stuff out. Keeps your cells healthy. Helps keep the bad stuff out. Let the good stuff in. Minerals, decades and decades ago, you would have gotten from your food and your water. It's not so lucky anymore. They've overfarmed all the soil. Less minerals in there, so less minerals in your food. You're probably filtering your water or drinking bottled water. Less minerals in there. What Remineralize does, as you can guess, is give you your minerals back. They get the minerals from dried salt beds in Utah. They minimally process them. You drip a little bit in your drink, maybe in the morning, maybe in the evening, and make sure that your body is getting all the minerals it needs. Remember, the filtering your water is fine. It takes out the bad stuff, but it takes out the good stuff too. So whether it's Elite, whether it's Remineralize, whether it's Butyrate, whatever product you want, go to bodybio.com, use promo code AUGUST for 20% off your order. That is promo code AUGUST for 20% off any order at BodyBio. That is BodyBio. So I mentioned Sixers Adam, right? Oh, yeah, before Sixers Adam, we have the Clippers saga continues, right, as Adam Silver and his law firm investigate. But we've gotten a lot of emails like this very first one regarding this. This one comes from Mike, not you, a different Mike, writes to RickySanchez.com. Writes to RickySanchez@gmail.com. With all the Pablo Torre Kawhi Clippers fake sponsorship deal news, we have to now assume that the random Color Star sponsorship from a couple years ago was likely the beginning of some off-the-book means for the Sixers to circumvent the cap in some way, right? James Harden would obviously be involved in something like that. Is that why he turned so hard on Morey since he lost his secret side deal? First time, long time, bring back Art of the Take, yada, yada, yada. So
I think those are two separate things.
Yes. I think the fact that this was a fraudulent company that Ballmer was dealing with is not directly tied to him trying to circumvent the cap with Kawhi.
Right.
I do believe the part where he was frauded by this company that he believed on some level is legitimate. So, and the deal with Color Star, for what it's worth, from everything I understand.
Negligence and stupidity.
Yes. Yeah.
And maybe some greed.
Yeah. Well, it's like you're doing sales. Somebody wants to give you money. Believe it or not, they don't do deep dives on all the companies that want to give you money.
They should.
Well,
they just should. If that's your job, they definitely should. I'm not saying Nick Nurse should be doing it, or Joel, or Elton, but somebody, if they're taking money from somebody, should be doing a little bit of research.
Well,
and you really only needed a little bit with Color
Yes.
Star.
I
You didn't
think-
need that much.
yeah, I think the biggest thing was the CEO didn't exist.
Yeah.
You
If
know?
AT&T is offering, then you're like, I know AT&T. That's
Right.
fine. But if
Yeah.
random metaverse company is offering, then you go like, let me just check this out, see how legitimate it is.
That used to be a concrete company.
That used to be a concrete ready mix concrete. Yeah, you'd
Yeah.
be able to able to check that out pretty quickly. And I think the hardened thing is the more interesting thing to me in that question, which is we don't know. But Harden clearly thought there was some negotiated agreement, handshake deal, something that Daryl didn't hold his end of the bargain on. Daryl claims that that's not true.
and that would have
then-
been illegal. Like you
Yeah,
can't have a
yeah.
handshake deal. Now there's
But maybe
understandings.
maybe that's what Harden expected, something like this.
Yeah.
Or whether it was a separate company or just that the Sixers would, hey, if I sign this deal now, then I will sign another deal later.
Right. Yeah.
You can't do that. And so
That's what I'm saying. That is not legal.
Right.
The sign this, and then I promise we'll take care of you after this year. You're not allowed to, because that is circumventing the cap.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that the deal that what is the Clippers company called? It starts with an A. Aspiration.
oh yeah, Aspiration is the fake
the
company.
Clippers. The deal that they did with the Clippers was like a 15-year deal for $300 million. I think the Color Star deal was like $100 grand or $200
Yeah, it was
grand
really
or
that
something.
was really small.
Yeah, it was a much smaller sponsorship.
It doesn't make it less stupid. It just makes it a smaller version of stupid.
Yes, and a different kind of stupid.
A different kind.
yeah,
There's all
different
sorts of kinds.
Yeah. This came from Vince, also about the Clippers thing, right? RickySanchez@gmail.com. Hey, Spike, Mike, CJ, and Pablo Torre. Regarding the Clippers, you guys are way off base. Forget the picks, forget the contract voiding, all that nonsense. The league needs eyes on the front office. They need an executive with experience who they can trust. They need Jerry Colangelo to serve as the chair of basketball operations for the Los Angeles Clippers. Jerry will lead a nationwide search devoid of any suspicious activity for the best president and general manager of basketball operations who can do things the right way. If you want to set a team on the right course, Jerry Colangelo is clearly the guy to do it.
We are dying for that Pablo episode. When
Oh
that
my-
drops, when the Colangelo Pablo episode drops, I'll be driving, I'm sure. And
You
I'll
mean
have
the
to-
one that he's going to do about our Colangelo thing?
Yeah,
at some
anything,
point?
any
Yes.
of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
It'll happen. He's going to get there. I don't know if he'll get Brian to ever comment or
Well, that's
get
the
in,
white whale
but
is getting him to comment. Who got
hearing he's around.
who got Rucker? Alex Rucker talked. Didn't Alex Rucker talk to Pablo like 6 months ago?
For what?
A year ago? I think he did. Hold on.
For what?
I forget. I'm trying to remember. Hold on. Let's see. Sixers. Hold on.
August is so long. I can't be
former
expected to
NBA
remember anything.
scorekeeper makes shocking admission. Yes. 'Cause-
Oh, yeah, that's
yes.
right.
He was the one who said that they used to give extra assists or
Yeah,
something.
that
Is that
one,
what it
yeah.
was? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was that Pablo?
I thought so.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. So if he can find Rucker, who is, I think, coaching at a YMCA or something, or working at the Boys and Girls Club, I don't know what he's doing. He's doing something else. I will love when that episode comes out. I think
coming.
on our pod we should play that episode.
We should just sit there and make faces.
Yes, yeah, like a director's track. So every year, Sixers Adam, formerly of the Ricky, currently of Philly Voice, that is his legal name, Sixers Adam, does a survey of Sixers fans. And then he posts the results and he talks about them. So Sixers Adam is on vacation right now, but his survey is out there. You can get it on Philly Voice or any of his social media. And I thought we should go through some of the questions and see how we would answer it. You should answer it at home on your own, so Sixers Adam gets the answers. But I think we should do ours publicly. So first question, Mike. Were you pleased or frustrated that the Sixers brought back President of Basketball Operations Daryl Morey and head coach Nick Nurse? There's pleased that both are back, pleased that one of them is back, frustrated that both of them are back. I am ambivalent about Nick Nurse, and I am pleased that Daryl Morey is back.
I mean, it's so binary, but I would say I'm closer to pleased on both.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Nurse thing, I guess I just didn't care very much.
I
I'm
don't
fine
think
with
he
Nick
did.
Nurse being
I think Daryl had some wins, some losses last year. Obviously, the big losses hurt more than the small wins.
Yes.
And Nurse, I think, was generally like immaterial to the situation.
Yes.
You'd like him to be a little bit more material to the situation.
He didn't handle it well.
No.
But,
let's see if he learned something from it. Let's see if he comes back this year and is a little bit more, maybe he's a better coach.
I think end of the
Willing
day.
to give it another year for both guys.
Yeah. End of the day, it was hard to imagine that season going much differently, even if Nick Nurse had handled it well. And if he handled it well, maybe it would have even been worse.
Yeah.
Maybe they would have won 36 games.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
It ended up being good. I don't think that was because I don't think when they went 3-14 at the beginning of the year, Nick was like, I am going to be bad.
Yes.
And the team's going to be bad because I want that pick.
Right.
I think it's more the bigger thing was not like how it went last year. The bigger thing is more like, okay, last year went as poorly as it did from top to bottom. And does that give us any indication that Nick is less creative or flexible of a coach than we had anticipated? And so if we're writing it all off, I'm happy to do that. But I'm also like, I got my antennas up.
Second one, how much did you pay attention to the Sixers in the final 2 months of the season? Religiously, frequently, occasionally, rarely, or not at all? Religiously, unfortunately.
It's less than religious for me.
Frequently?
Frequently, yeah. Frequently is probably what it was.
How
If
did
anyone was following them religiously, then they
yeah.
should have to talk to a healthcare professional.
Yeah, I would guess. That's a fair thing to say. How did you feel about the Sixers drafting VJ Edgecombe with the number 3 overall pick, and before and after it happened? Well, we already went over through this. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited about Edgecombe. He looked good. I will say, I would have loved a little bit more summer league. He didn't play that much.
Oh yeah, we had the wrist thing, right?
Yeah, so it's like he had one of those games was really, really great, and there were pops in all the ones that he played. But if people were worried about like how real was McCain's, whatever month that he was dominant, I think it's fair to be like, how real is VJ's
one good summer league game.
Basically.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about him. I think he's gonna be great. I think he's gonna be really helpful. I want him to play major minutes this year, off the bench. If he can get in the like 18 to 23 minutes a night, some nights he's hot and he gets to close games. That's sick. And some nights it's like the game is moving too fast for him and he can't hit off the catch or whatever it is. Hopefully this is a good situation where he'll get to contribute to a winning team as he develops other parts of his game and other skill sets, so he can go from role player and keep rising up into hopefully stardom eventually.
How would you grade the Sixers selection of Edgecombe? A. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an A. I was maybe this was a coward's take at the time, and it seems even more cowardly now. But I always wanted to trade down. I thought that 3 to 9 range was pretty interchangeable. I think we probably have the best player out of that group, and I think some people might say Edgecombe is better than Harper. I wouldn't say that right now, but it's better to have the better player, and I was maybe getting hung up on
value,
extra picks, extra value, giving yourselves more opportunities to be flexible later on and get out of situations and set yourself up. But if they think Edgecombe's a tentpole player and like a good for the culture player and is the perfect fit for the next generation of this team, then that matters more to me than picking up an extra first in 2028. I just wasn't ready to say with confidence that Edgecombe is definitely that guy, more so than the other guys that were picked around that area.
I think I know you're not we're never a big Bill Simmons guy, and but I think this is everything. It's something that people agree on. Generally, in the NBA trades, the team that gets the best player in all of it wins, even if the other team gets more stuff. And I think to the Edgecombe thing, if they really thought he was better than all the other players, then they could have gotten, if they traded back, then it was the right thing, I think.
Are there many examples of a team trading down and like deeply regretting that move?
I'm sure we could.
I'd have to look for it. I wonder if there is that situation. I'm sure there are probably articles written about it before the draft. But again, when you go through August, everything is slips right off of your brain and body and all into the ether. But I have more recollection of teams trading up for a player in the NBA
and fail,
and it being like, you traded up to take that guy. I mean, like
right.
I think I yelled at John Gonzalez a couple days ago that the Doug Collins trading up to take Arnett Moultrie, trading up into the first round, the back end of the first round, trading a future first for like the 27th pick in the draft to take Arnett Moultrie. Terrible. And then Brian Colangelo, who's now gotten a second mention on this podcast, trading up to take Andrzej Potečniks.
Yes.
Because they were like, we don't have any roster spots, so we'll trade up. We'll just package these up together. We'll trade up, and then we'll just stash this guy. We need a stash. And so that what a complete waste of value there.
So here's one. Atlanta traded back in the Doncic trade.
I'm saying
they went from 3 to 5.
Okay, yeah. So you're saying Atlanta regrets trading back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's fair. That's one for sure. That's a big one.
Yeah. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by Anthony Degli Obizzi, the official financial planner of the Ricky. I trust him with all my money. Now, if he runs away with it, I'm going to be very mad, but I don't think he can run away with it. That's not how it works. You should be planning for your retirement. You should be planning for your future. You should learn how to save. You should know where your money is going. And you should realize that you don't have to put away every cent that you earn to do those sorts of things. Those not understanding how any of it worked, being worried that I wasn't going to have any money to live my life are the reasons that I waited way too long to save. You should not wait. The earlier you start, the better. Put up $100 a month away or something if you can. Anthony is the guy to help you get there. Anthony works at Monastra Financial Group in Delco, but he is really smart, really trustworthy, really easygoing, and depending on what you want out of him, in terms of your money and your future, you can be as involved as you want to be. You can check in once a quarter. You can check in once a year. You can bother him every single day. He is insanely responsive. He is really good at it. Even my wife, who doesn't want any part of this shit, is very comfortable and happy talking to him. Super happy. I think I've been with Anthony for like 3 years now, maybe something like that. If you are interested, if you haven't started doing this yet for yourself, I'm telling you, really, really, really should. And not just retirement planning, but if life insurance or anything in the money sphere or whatever, he is great advice, a great partner. If you want to set up a consultation, does not cost you anything at all. Text the word Ricky to 484-471-4873. Text the word Ricky to 484-471-4873. You just set up a no commitment conversation. He'll get right back to you. He's like that too. Responsive, cool. Anthony Degli Obizzi, the official financial planner of the Ricky. Here we go. How would you grade the Sixers selection of Janai Broome with the 35th overall pick? It's a C at this point, right?
Yeah, I didn't love it at the time. I understood it. It was a disappointing summer league for him. Just not my kind of player generally. It's not there were a couple guys that I really liked that got picked like right before him. So it was a little bit of I wonder if the board fell differently if they would have taken somebody else, but it's a position of need and another high culture guy. So even if I was a little disappointed and a little disappointed in the summer league performance, I would expect that he ends up being like a relatively useful player. So I'll say C+.
Check off any members of the 24-25 Sixers you believe the team should or will regret not keeping around. Jared Butler, Ricky Council, Gershon Yabusele, Lonnie Walker. I mean, Yabusele would be nice to have. I don't think they're going to really regret not having any of those players. Yabusele would be nice to have. That would be the only
I mean, it would be nice to have, but the bigger regret for me is knowing
Not
that it was
trading.
unlikely that he
Yes.
was going to be able to be kept, and to not trade him at the deadline for literally anything because the year didn't matter.
How do you feel about Quentin Grimes as a player in the aftermath of his scoring breakout with the Sixers? 3 options being: he's a potential star, he is a high caliber rotation piece, he's a higher caliber rotation piece than previously anticipated and can start for a contending team, or he is a useful role player, but his scoring in a tanking period will not translate to a more competitive NBA games.
I think somewhere between 2 and 3. I think there's no version of him scoring as much as he scored, and nobody thinks this is an obvious thing to say, but there's no version of him scoring as much as he scored on like a great team. But I think it's good to see that he can do it. I think that is useful. I think being a role player that can scale up is huge. And I think if he's a useful role player, somewhere in between like the 4th or 5th offensive option as a starter, or like a very, high minute guy off the bench, 25, 28 minutes, then that's great. Then that's sick.
Yeah, I would guess closer to 3 than 2, but it's really almost impossible to guess. That is the hardest thing about determining his value in general, is when he showed his, what he showed and when he showed it is not at all like what they're looking for or what they want from him. So what is your level of concern that Grimes is still unsigned? From 1 to 5, with 1 being not concerned at all and 5 being extremely concerned.
I'd say it was at the day after Giddey signed, it was probably at a 3. And then when he posted the picture of himself, it was at a 2.
I thought he posted the picture first and then Giddey signed.
That's possible.
Yeah.
I think it's vacillating somewhere between a 2 and a 3 on any given day. I think it is going to happen, but the closer we get to training camp and him not being there, I don't know how many other players are there at the moment. Joel obviously was. It would have been nice to get, because Grimes barely got to play with Joel. So it would have been nice to get them together and start that process soon, because having an off-ball shooter around him and getting that chemistry developed would be really nice. So they're not that they're losing time. There's plenty of time left, and he's going to be, it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen. It's going to be fine. But the longer it waits, the more I'm like starting to develop a pain in my like kidneys.
Yeah, I've noticed AU's writing all off season has been very, very, very depressing, very miserable. And there's one that he wrote a month ago, and it said, the headline was something to the effect of, the Quentin Grimes thing is starting to get weird. And I just looked at it and I said, no, it's not. None of these guys have signed. I know you got to write something. We all got to do something. But then one of his negative takes over the summer will come home to roost, and he will told you so on one of them. And I'm starting to think about that one. So I'm also at probably a 2, but mostly worried about AU being right on him not signing being weird.
Yeah, the weird thing, like when these deals get done, I don't know how the like inner workings of, front office agent relationships and what like the business affairs lawyers have to like look at to see if all the contractual language makes sense, and if they're like agreeing in principle but not exactly going through it. But there's a chance that like somebody's on vacation, like there's a chance that some like Quentin's agent or whoever does the deals for the Sixers is just like out of town.
Yes,
And
we'll get it done when you get back. Yeah.
Or has been for a little bit and then is just getting back to it. It's just like clearing things out. Like either side doesn't seem like they're operating from a place of urgency or frustration. So I tend to believe that it's just going to happen and be fine, because unless you start hearing more reports that like they're really still very far apart or something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We haven't had a report at all on that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So I'm assuming it's just going to happen, but it is kind of just like, just do it then. Just just fucking do it.
What do we got here? You know what? Let's do a couple of emails and we'll do the rest of the survey on the next pod. We got this email from Serena, writes rickysanchez@gmail.com. Spike, I have a question that I've been meaning to ask in reference to a pod from a few weeks ago. Forgive the delayed email. On the pod in which you picked the drafting order for the Ricky Reddit fantasy football team, there was a team named South by Southwest. You and Mike both seem perplexed by this name and its relevance to Ricky lore. I was yelling at my dashboard, desperately waiting for CJ to chime in with an explanation to no avail. I then continued to wait on the following pods to hear that you received emails explaining the name and that seemed to slip all of your minds. Still nothing. So I am here to clear up the confusion. I vividly remember on a pod when discussing the South by Southwest road trip, you accidentally misspoke and said South by Southwest. You and Mike both cracked up at this mishap. So did I as a listener. I'm very mature. I know I have to know. Do you recall this at all? Thanks for your time, TTP.
I do recall it.
Yeah, we did get a few emails. We got one from Zach as well. And I think maybe somebody on the Reddit mentioned it when I missed it or something. So I apologize. I remember it. Somebody sent me the clip even. So,
yeah. That happened. That's fair.
Yep. Sorry. We should have remembered. We should remember every fucking single minute.
We do a lot of podcasts.
Yeah. So, sorry. I didn't remember every fucking single. So,
but that's fair. I'm glad you guys got to hold us to account. You're an important part of the process here.
This came from Niels. Another show idea from Mike. Hey, Spike. Hey, Mike. While I don't have a basketball-related question, because frankly, it's too depressing to think about the on-court Sixers at this point, I did have a thought about how Mike could help resurrect Ben Simmons' reputation, even if his career is a lost cause. What if Ben Simmons could back another sitcom pilot with Mike? This time, instead of some lighthearted fish out of water story, it was a hoops equivalent of Eastbound and Down, where the main character is a washed-up #1 pick who decides instead to become a fashion designer while living with a girlfriend and a kid who only kind of respect him, but not really, especially when he makes everyone shake using their left hand only. While this is obviously a self-troll in the biggest of ways, it would at least allow Simmons to show that he has a sense of self-deprecating humor that for the first time in his public life make him likable or at least endearing. Thanks as always for the great content, and F Boston. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Ben Simmons
go
show?
write it.
You willing to write it?
I can't take unsolicited submissions, but that's an idea for a show.
Oh, right. Oh, right. Because then they can come fucking sue you, right? Saying,
yeah, I'm not gonna write. I'm not gonna write something on a listener or anybody in my DM suggesting I write something. I will not be doing. So sorry to say.
They could be actively making sure it doesn't happen by writing to you and telling you to do it, right? I mean, that makes it less likely it'll happen.
I guess, yeah. I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm encouraging anyone to, write their little hearts out and do it themselves.
Final email. This came from John, writes rickysanchez@gmail.com. Hi, Spike, Mike, and CJ. I had a very proud moment today. I started listening to the Ricky in June of 2014 to hear your takes on the Embiid pick. Just a 28-year-old guy living with his girlfriend at the time. I've since changed jobs, gotten married, moved to a different country. Well, today was the first time I had the pleasure of listening to the Ricky together with my now 8-year-old kid. Can't help but reflect on how different I am today compared to 11 years ago when I started listening, and you guys are still at it. Granted, my kid's reaction to the pod was, quote, when are they going to start talking about basketball? And I explained, of course, that we're only in 2nd August at this point, and 3rd August hasn't even started yet.
Look at the calendar.
Yep. But patience is very hard to teach as a parent. I'm not certain my kid will agree to listen with me again. Nonetheless, I won't take anything away from my own sense of pride. I turned 40 in a few months, and I can't help but look ahead and wish that maybe one day I'll be lucky enough to listen to the 5th edition of the Ricky Lore episode with my grandkids so they can learn what the Color Star saga was all about. Death, taxes, and the rights to Ricky Sanchez forever.
That's very nice.
Basketball question. I feel like there's been so little discussion of Kelly Oubre in the last 4 or 5 months that I've almost forgotten he's here. Heck, even Andre Drummond has gotten more airtime. I guess it's a foregone conclusion that Kelly will be gone after this season, having never developed a reliable three-point shot. But are we still counting on him to be a major contributor this coming season? If he's here,
we talked about Kelly recently. I mean, I think he's a really, really useful player. I think he's played his ass off here. I think he has absolutely proven that he can contribute to like playoff basketball and play more within himself and as part of a team concept. He's not without his warts, and he definitely would have loved for him to become a more reliable 3-point shooter. He took to the internet to blame he had a thumb issue?
Oh
right?
yeah. He said he had surgery.
Yeah, last season.
Uh-huh.
So if he's above 35% this year, I'll be incredibly happy for him. But he plays his ass off. He's athletic, plays defense. He's really improved as a defender. Like, I would like Kelly to be here. I don't expect that they would have money to re-sign him after this season. Or they might decide to, if he has a good first few months of the season, they might decide to trade him. And if they can get something valuable for him, maybe. But I like Kelly, and I have enjoyed Kelly's time as a Sixer. I wish it was
way more than I thought I would, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you were anti. Signing him to the minimum was an incredible deal when he first got here, and then it was like a pretty fair higher deal the last couple of years.
Yeah. I've liked Kelly Oubre a lot, way more than I thought I was going to. All right, we will talk to you next time as 2nd August. We're in the middle of 2nd August, then we get into 3rd August, and then the season's here. It's going to be here before we know it. And just a reminder, if you work for the Sixers and you've seen Joel Embiid at these practices, give us a little leak.
Hit us up. And next podcast, I should tell a story from my co-ed basketball team.
Oh,
so, little tease for the next one.
Let's do another pod right now, just so I can hear it. Just kidding. We'll talk to you next time. Are you done with TTP?
Yeah, lick face.